In this first session of refresher training, we're going to talk about searching on the name screen. To access the name screen, all you need to do is either click the names icon that's on the top of your toolbar, or from the command line, type the word names as I did and select enter. The names table or the names screen will open up where we're going to search. Remember that every person has one and only one real or legal name screen, but they can have many alias names or street name screens. So to start our search, we have a choice. We could either click the search button on the first command line choices here, or we can click on a field, any of the fields. We're going to click on the last name field. You'll notice in the upper right hand corner of the screen it says that we are searching for records. Up there in the upper right hand corner it'll always tell you whether you are searching, adding, or modifying, but we want to search. We're going to type the first three letters of the person's last name that we're looking for and put an asterisk. What the asterisk does is it tells the system to find every last name that starts with these letters, and we don't care how else it's spelled or how long it is. Your agency should have a policy or has a policy that says how many letters of a last name you need to put, and if you need to tab over to the first name and put an initial there as well. Once we have our search in, we can then either click the accept button on the top or F3 for it to proceed with our search. I push the F3 button, and what you'll notice is it came up with the very first screen that the last name was spelled with an FLU. To see how many there are, I'll click the total button, and in the lower right hand corner of the screen it'll tell you how many records there are. If I want to look at those records, all I'll do is hit the list button and a list of those names will pop up. You'll notice that all of the last names start with the letters FLU, but each of them have a different first name. Another search is we can put an asterisk and then put the letters at the end of the name, how many there are. So asterisk ITH, I want the system to find every last name that ends with the letters ITH. I'll click accept, and it found one. The total of them is 11. And if I look at the list, what I should see is every last name that ends with the letters ITH, irregardless of a first name. I can double click on any one of those I need to read. I can toggle down, arrow on the keyboard to open a record. The other search that we'll do is letters that are together. If you put letters or a word in between two asterisks, the system will look anywhere on that line for those letters together. So I have IT between two asterisks. I will click accept. I'll take a total of that. There's 24 of them. And when I put up the list, what you'll notice is Spirit, Smith, Committee, White, Ritter, Merritt. What happened is it looked for those two letters together. So in these searches, you could use the first letters of a last name and an asterisk. You could use an asterisk and the ending letters of a name, or you could use two asterisks with the letters or a word in between them to do your searches. If we only have a first name, we can click on the first name field and find every first name that begins with the letters ADA. When I go click my accept and look, I asked it to find every first name that starts with the letters ADA. If I go to a total, there's 3 of them, and the 3 names are all Adams. So every name that it found me was an Adam, irregardless of their first name. So the asterisk can be used on most of the fields that are here on the name screen. When we search on the address line, if it was a street name that we want, but we don't know the address number, and we don't know if it's a street, an avenue, or a lane, all we have to do is put an asterisk of the street name, Elder, as I did here, and an asterisk, and it's going to search that entire line to find that word or those letters together. When I click accept, and I ask it to list them, what you'll notice is Elder Street, and there's all of the address of the people who are listed in the system who live on Elder Street. I can search any one of these. You'll notice now there is a history of previous addresses for somebody, so if all I have is a previous address, I could search there as well. When I come down to the personal identifiers, driver's license number. If I search and I say, well, I think the driver's license number has 4, 5, 6, 7 in it, and I put it between two asterisks and do my search, it'll go out and find every driver's license number, as we look here in that column, that has 4, 5, 6, 7 together. I can put the asterisk at the end of a few and find for me everybody's driver's license who starts with 1, 2, 3. And there is none who start with the 1, 2, 3. You can ask it to end. I want to search again in the driver's license, and I want it to find everybody who ends with a 7, 7. There was one of them in there. So the searching will work on the driver's license, telephone numbers, Social Security, FBI, other telephone numbers you'll notice on this screen where you can put the cell or whatever designation it is for the number that fits in here. And you'll notice now there is an internet address line. So you could also do that. I could search for anybody who has Mary in their internet address. When I go click accept, there is 4 of them. So 4 people have the word Mary somewhere in their internet address. When I go list it, you'll notice there is the word Mary in each of them. And it makes no difference if it's capital letters or all lower cases, but Mary's in there. When I come down to the physical descriptions, I can search for race, sex, heights, weights, hair color, eye colors. If I come down to search for a height, what you'll notice is that type. When I click on it to open it, it gives me more search criteria. I can do a between search, a less than, a greater than. Sounds like belongs to letters. So if I want to search between a height, I can either double click on it or just highlight it, click accept. You'll notice on the bottom of the screen it says enter my first value, 6 foot. When I hit my enter key, it'll blank out and it changes it to the second value. And I want 6'5". So I'm asking the system to find everybody for me who's between 6 foot and 6'5". When I click accept and have it go out and look, it's telling me that there's 80 people between that. But when I go back and click my search again, because that was too many records for me to read, you'll notice the button up there that says previous. When you click on previous, it puts back that former search criteria in there. Now I can say what I want you to find for me is just the white males that are between 6 foot and 6'5" that have blue eyes. When I click accept and have it do my search now there's only 15 in there. So there's 15 white males in there between 6 foot, 6'5" with blue eyes. And you'll notice in the height, since that was my first search criteria, there is the heights of everybody. Weight is the same way. When I go for a search, I can take a greater than or a less than. On this one, I'm going to take a greater than and say, tell me everybody who is greater than 275 pounds. irregardless of anything else. Again, it found them. My total is 6. So there's 6 people in there that have a weight, as you'll see here, of greater than 275 pounds. So all of these fields work the same way. With the previous, you can just put your search criteria back if you don't have everything all at one time. When we search for scars, marks, and tattoos, the last field under scars, marks, and tattoos is free text. We ask everybody to please describe the scar, the mark, or the tattoo that the person has. When I go out and click accept, I asked it to find a rose for me. It told me that there are 12 entries. So if I look in the miscellaneous description for, I see red rose, yellow roses, roses and butterflies. So it's a good idea to get into the habit of when you make an entry to fill out the scar, mark, and tattoo description. And lastly, the alert codes. You'll notice they do go all the way across the screen. But you don't need to remember any specific position, as when you put it in the first spot, it will search all of them. I'll open it up and I will go look for somebody who is a domestic violence person. When I go do accept, what you'll notice on this record is that domestic violence is actually here in the 5th position as opposed to the 1st. So the system searches the entire line for whatever code you're looking for. Comments. Comments is a free text field. If your agency uses it on the name screen, what you can do is search in there, again, by putting a word between 2 asterisks and then having it go out and do the search. Remember that when you're searching on the name screen, all of the fields are searchable. You can use any one or any combination of the fields that are there. Letters and an asterisk, start it. Asterisk and letters at the end of a word or a name. Between 2 asterisks, find the word somewhere on that line or the letters. Greater thans, less thans, and between searches for your numbers. Thank you.